Okay, what you're going to make today is the core of a motor. It's a coil of wire that looks like this, it's a loop that's been wrapped around a lot of times with wires coming out of the sides of it, and I'll show you how to wrap that. You're going to need three things: a block of wood that looks kind of like this, a round piece of wood, it's got these slots in it on the sides, and a long piece of this gold looking wire. Now we don't have enough of these round pieces of wood for everybody to have their own, so you might have to share that with a partner and take turns. Now the idea of what we're going to do is we're going to take the round piece of wood and wrap the wire around it again and again and again and again, and you want to wrap the wire over this part where there's the groove. We're going to need that groove in a minute. So keep wrapping the wire, it doesn't take very long. You can see me wrapping it right here. And you can see when I'm wrapping it, it's kind of fat this way, kind of wide. I'll use my thumbs to push it together a little bit, and we'll tighten it down even more in a minute. So when you're done with the wrapping, you want to have two ends sticking out. You've got about this much wire on one side and about the same amount of wire over on the other side. But what I'm going to do with these loose ends is I'm going to take one end of it, slip it into this groove underneath inside of our wire loops, wrap it around the wire loops, we'll wrap it again, kind of like I'm tying up or wrapping up that coil of wire. I'd wrap it 3 times, 4 times maybe even. But when you're done with the wrapping, you need to have at least an inch of wire sticking out. I've got about that much sticking out. So you need some stuff sticking out at the end because we're going to have to connect this. It's going to be part of our motor. We're going to have to connect this up to the battery somehow. I'll do the same thing on the other side for wrapping my wires. Take the other loose end, I'll slip it into the slot, slide it under the coil and wrap it around. And again, that's 2 times, and I'll do one more for 3 times. Okay, once you're at this point, call Matt or Ben over, and what we'll do is take a look, make sure things are wrapped okay. We might bring a pair of pliers and tighten up these sort of knots or places where you wrapped it for you. Once we've done that, we got to sand this thing. Now the way you're going to sand this will be a little bit easier than what we did yesterday. Okay, you'll lay your peg down into this slot in the board here. And when you do that, you'll have your 2 sides of the wire flat here. Just leave this whole thing flat the whole time. Take one piece of sandpaper or one of the emery boards that we have. Most people call those nail files, some people call them emery boards. Anyway, take those nail files and use them to sand off the insulation just on the top side of each wire. So you'll lay it down like this, sand on here, sand over here, then you're done. Again, when you're done with that sanding, have Ben or Matt take a look at it so we can see if there are any problems.